everybody, welcome back to Epic Beauty Fail. I'm Jessica, and on today's video I'm doing the day 2 of 5 days of foundation for February. And on today's foundation tryout, review, demo, whatever you want to call it, I'm going to be focusing in on the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid. So this is a matte foundation. It is 1 fluid ounce. I did pick this up at Sephora. So this is the color Fair, which I believe is the lightest color. On the Milk Makeup website, it does retail for $40. It has 4 out of 5 stars. The lightest color is, okay, it looks like on the website there is one color lighter than this, or at least in their range it's one color lighter, called Ivory, which is neutral to yellow undertones, and I don't have yellow undertones. But this is Fair, and it also says neutral to yellow undertones, so I don't know. Light had the pink undertones, but it was a little bit darker, so I went with Fair. And I'm thinking that maybe on the Sephora website they didn't have the ivory color. I'm not sure. But there's 16 colors for this foundation. It looks like most of them are medium range. There's not a lot of dark or really light colors, so I don't know. But we're gonna go with this color, which is Fair. What are the, let's see what the claims are. It says it is oil-free and silicone-free formula, gives you flawless full coverage with a lightweight serum-like feel, which I hope, because that's the kind of foundation that I do prefer. Blurs pores and fine lines instantly with blurring microspheres, powder-filled spheres that diffuse the light and leave a smooth matte finish. It's mess-free, its innovative airless tip keeps foundation fresh and the color true, not to mention it won't leak all over your makeup bag. So you're supposed to shake the tube, then dispense 1 to 2 drops onto fingers or the dab and blend applicator and blend onto face. For normal to oily skin, prime with blur stick prior to application. For dry skin, prime with your favorite moisturizer, then apply blur liquid directly on top. For all skin types, finish and set with our 3-in-1 blur spray and you're good to go. So I'm not going to be using all of their products today. I do have the blur stick, but I struggle with it. So I already did put some products on my face. I did put the Milk cooling water along my under eyes and along my face. I also used the Pixie by Petra Hydrating Milky Mist. I like to use these two before putting on my makeup, especially in the winter. Yeah. So then I put on the number 50 Serum Anti-Aging Collagen Veil Primer from IT Cosmetics. I use that all over my face with the exception of my nose, which I did put the Benefit Professional on. If you've seen any of my previous foundation review videos, you'll know that I do struggle with my nose being very difficult. I do still have my blemish on the side of my nose here and a couple here on my chin. I also put a little bit of the Professional here around my chin where I do have some deeper pores and acne scarring. So I am not going to be using their brush. What I am going to be using is my Flower Beauty sponge, which I really like a lot, and my IT Cosmetics Heavenly Luxe Flat Top Buffing Foundation Brush. I'm going to use the brush on the right side of my face and the sponge on the left side of my face. So I'm going to shake this up a little bit. My biggest concern is that this is going to be a little bit too yellow. I probably should have went with the one that had pink undertones, but my concern there was that it was going to be too dark. So we'll see. Alright, so it does have a little tip, as it said in the description. Okay. And it is more of a liquidy foundation. So there it is. It is starting to run down my hand. So I'm going to go ahead and take this. I'm going to start with the brush side. So I'm going to just dot it all over my right side of my face. Oh, the color doesn't seem to be too bad. It does have a smell to it, a not super pleasant smell, but it doesn't smell overtly flowery or anything like that, which I do appreciate. Maybe some people do like the flowery scent, but I do not. All right, I'm going to start with the brush and see how it goes. All right, that went on really, really quickly, really smooth, really easily. I am really liking how quickly that went on. I do feel it is a little bit yellow. Hopefully it doesn't oxidize. If it doesn't oxidize, I think it'll be okay. I did bring it down my neck some in hopes that it will help to mask some of that. But it definitely is a little bit yellow for me. It's okay. It's not horrible looking. Actually, it looks really nice, I think. It has a nice texture to it. Okay. I mean, it is in my pores down here, but I don't think there's anything I can really do about that. That's just the way my skin is. All right, I'm going to go ahead and apply it to this side of my face with the sponge. I'm going to go ahead and, unfortunately, I'm afraid this is going to oxidize, because if you can see it on my skin there on my hand, it has gotten quite a bit more orange since I first put it on. Here, I'll put some more on over here. At least to me, you can see it got quite a bit more orange as it dried. So I'm going to put a little bit less on my hand this time because I did put a little bit too much out, and see how it goes on this side of my face. Okay, I feel like I got a lot more of a, not a lot more, but a little bit sheerer coverage with the sponge, but I actually like the way this side looks better. I think I might add a little bit more foundation to this side just in a couple of spots and apply it with the brush, and then I'm going to go back over this side with the sponge. So I'm just going to literally put a little bit on the back of my hand. Dab that on my trouble spot on my nose, on my chin, where I had run out, and then up here on my hairline. Okay. Okay, I'm going to zoom you in and we're going to take a look at my skin and see what it looks like. Alright, so I'm actually really liking the way this is sitting on my skin right now. I did go back over this side with the sponge, and I did apply extra on this side with the brush. I think a combination of the two is going to be best, at least on my skin. So, I mean, you'd work with whatever works best for your skin, but I find that for the most part, a lot of times my skin works best with the foundation brush and then the sponge over top of it, just to make it all sort of melt together. There is a little bit of transfer on my hands. I don't know if that's going to show up on the camera. Let's see. It looks like it might be showing up when I touch it. So I am going to powder this foundation just to hopefully minimize the amount of transfer. I hate it when foundations transfer, as I'm sure most people do. So I'm going to go ahead and powder using my Collab powder. I'm going to go ahead then and put the rest of my makeup on, and I will be back in just a couple of minutes. Time. It is now just about 10:20. So we'll call that the check-in time, 10:20. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and powder my face, put on the rest of my makeup, and I will be back. All right, welcome back. It is now 10:45. So my makeup's been on for just under half an hour, about 25 minutes. On my face, I have Fiona Styles contouring palette, the middle shade right here. This is the light medium palette. I have the Flower Beauty blush or the flower pot, they call it a flower pot, in Sweet Pea. And then I have the Sleek Makeup. This is the Solstice highlighting palette, the pink powder on my cheeks. That's what's on my face. And then on my eyes, I have the NYX. This is the In Your Element Air palette. I have several of these colors. I've got the blue, the silver, this blue, this orange, this pinkish, and the yellow. Oh, and this one. I use a lot of the colors. That's on my eyes. I also have Makeup Geek eyeliner, the Beauty Counter, as well as the It Cosmetics Superhero mascara. This is on my lower lashes. This is on my upper lashes. The MAC Painterly Paint Pot. Then for lipstick, I have the In Your Element. This is part of the Earth collection, I believe. Oh no, this is the Air. This is Air in the color Rose Matte, or Matte Rose. It's just a pretty pink. Is that everything? Oh, and then I have the Pixie by Petra. This is the Makeup Fixing Mist with rose water and green tea. I really like this. The smell is very good. I like it a lot. So that is my whole face. So far, half an hour in, the foundation's looking pretty good. I don't feel like it's broken up anywhere. My chin, which is usually a problem area, actually looks pretty good. There's not too many lines in there. Around my nose looks good. My nose did look a little powdery after I put the powder on. So, but I think the fixing mist saved that a little bit. It does look a little bit patchy, and I only point that out so that throughout the day as I do my check-ins, I'm not complaining too much about my nose breaking up. I'm just going to try to remember what it looks like right now in hopes that I don't forget. And then my biggest complaint area with this foundation is underneath my eyes. It does look very, very dry, very crepey. That's the reason why I've pretty much stopped wearing concealer for the most part. Now I did buy the Milk Makeup Concealer, and I probably should have tried that in this video, but I'll try that in a future video. Yeah, overall, I'm not too upset with it, but there are just some little things like up here on my forehead. I feel like there's like a little dot right there, a little dot right there, where it seems to have almost like caked together, and I don't know why. I don't think it's from the powder. I don't know. So overall, right now, half an hour after wearing it, it's not too bad. It's just not, I don't know. I feel like I've got like a little line here on my lip, which is really weird. I don't normally get that. So I will do check-ins. Like I said, it's about 10:20 was my original check-in time. I will try to check in maybe around 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then again later, we are going to go on a road trip right now. So I'm going to be in a car for a good chunk of the day. And then just out and about where we're going. The lipstick might come off because it went on nice and smooth, but it's a little bit drying. It feels very dry. As you can see, I got a lot of lines on my lips right now. I don't know, we'll see how that goes. But overall, this is my look for right now. I am going to go ahead and get going, and I will see you guys in about 3.5, 4 hours. So keep your fingers crossed. We'll see how this foundation goes for my skin. Alright guys, it is 10 after 2, so I'm a little bit early, but not too much. I am not sure about this foundation just yet. I'm going to show you, I'm kind of in the sunlight, so try not to let the wind blow too far in my face, but I don't know, it's okay. It's still really making my under eyes look really dry, which I really don't like. But other than that, it's actually not looking too bad on my skin right now. My biggest problem is that it's just making me look older than I am. Like, it's really aging my skin, especially like I said, under my under eyes, and like some of it down in here. This isn't as bad as my under eyes are, but that's a problem area for me. I know it's a problem area for me, and it'll continue to be a problem area for me. So overall, I think it's looking good on my forehead. I think my face is actually looking pretty good, and my chin is actually looking pretty good. Like I said, my biggest problem is just that it seems to be making my skin look older than it actually is, and that's the only really complaint that I can give it. So it's not looking too bad. The color's a little off. I don't know if you can see the line where it's a little bit more orange than it needs to be, or it should be. So the color is a little bit off. Maybe if I got the one that had the pink undertones and mixed the two, it might be okay. But I have more neutral undertones than anything. And I don't know. So maybe if I got the 2 shades, I probably won't do that just because of the cost of it. It is $40 for the 1 ounce, so it's a standard cost. But it is a high-end foundation. So anyhow, I'm standing out here in the cold. It's only about 19 degrees right now, and I'm cold. So I'm gonna get back in my car. We are on my road trip, like I said, and yeah, so far it's not doing too bad. Like I said, it just seems to be aging my skin a little bit more than I would prefer it to be. So all right, I'll check in a couple of hours. Bye. All right, everybody, welcome back. The time is, where's my phone? Sorry. 7:32. So it is more than 9 hours that I've had this on. I will say this, I had some allergies bothering me earlier today. So my eyes were watering like crazy, my nose got all stuffy, and the tip of my nose is missing most of its foundation. I'm looking into a mirror here, trying to not block the light too much. But I feel like it doesn't look bad. Like, it doesn't look like it's totally wiped off. Even though I did wipe most of it off, I just used my finger and like dabbed it all over my nose to try to balance it out so it didn't look like there was like a line where the makeup stopped and started. And for the most part, I think that was pretty successful. It is a little bit liney down here on my chin, but I've had this on for 9 hours, and honestly, I wasn't like, I don't know. I've been kind of apprehensive about this the whole time, the whole day, but I'm looking at it now 9 hours in. I had a tissue over my nose, so this parts of my cheeks were wiped with tissue. My nose was wiped with tissue. All in here was wiped with a tissue. You know, and my eyes were watering, and like this whole part of my face was wet with like tears from my eyes watering. I mean, this held up really, really good. It just held up really well for what I put it through today. I feel like it faded naturally on my skin. I don't feel like it like just totally wiped away in the areas that I was having troubles with. I don't know. Like, I'm looking at it and it's still looking pretty good. I don't know, guys. I mean, let me know what you think. My contour's still there, my blush is kind of faded, but I can still even see my highlighter in here. I don't think it looks bad. I mean, I really don't. For having it be on for 9 hours, I really don't think it looks bad at all. I think it faded well. I don't know. I'm actually kind of impressed with this. Initially, I wasn't quite sure because I don't know. I don't know. 9 hours in, I think it looks good. I don't think the color is too far off. I mean, I was saying, like, you can still see the line, like where I stopped with the brush. So maybe if I had a different color, or maybe if I just mixed a little bit of something else with this, something that I had that's a little bit too pink, maybe this would look good. But overall, I'm not upset with the way this foundation has worn throughout the day. I'm not upset with the way that it has faded, especially since I did have, like I said, I had allergies today that really kind of like messed with my, I mean, you can see my shadow that was here underneath my eyelid. It's kind of worn away, but my eyeliner stayed pretty well. Yeah. So considering how much my eyes were watering. Anyway, back to the foundation. I'm really actually liking this. I wasn't sure about it. I wasn't sure that I would like it. My biggest complaint still remains my under eyes. I still think my under eyes look really dry. Maybe if I put a little bit more moisturizer there before putting the foundation on, that might help. But that is a problem area for me, and it will continue to be a problem area for me. I really need to have the lightest of foundation under my eyes for it to not look old or dry or whatever. Looking at it right now, I don't, like I was saying earlier, I felt like it was aging my skin. I feel like as it faded, it looked better, if that makes sense. Like in here, I felt like it was really clinging on to every single pore, every single line. But as it's faded throughout the day, I feel like it looks actually better. I don't know that I've ever had a foundation do that, where it's actually looked better at the end of the day than it did at the beginning of the day. I don't know. Have you guys had anything like that? Is there any foundation that you've used that looks better at the end of the day than the beginning of the day? I've just never run into that before. So, I don't know. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below about that. If there's any foundations I should try that does that for you, I'd love to hear it, because that's just, it's weird for me. Usually it looks worse than better. I mean, right in here, it probably looks a little bit worse, but on the major parts of my face, on my cheeks, it looks better. Yeah, so my first impression of this is that it's actually really nice. It is actually really nice. I'm very impressed. So I will continue to give this a try throughout the month of February, and I will let you know in the monthly wrap up where this ranks in my foundation this month. But overall, I think I'm actually pretty impressed with this. So anyhow, if you like this video, please give me a thumbs up down below. If you haven't already and you would like to be, please hit the red subscribe button. And don't forget to hit the little bell to notify you when I do upload new videos. And leave me any comments in the comment section down below. Have you tried the Milk Makeup Blur Liquid? If you have, what are your thoughts on it? Did you like it? Did you hate it? What did you think of this foundation? I found that the Milk Makeup products for me are kind of hit and miss. Some are really, really good. Like, I love the Milk Cooling Water Stick. Some other ones, not so much, but I think that's with any brand. So anyhow, I think this is actually a pretty good foundation for me and my skin, but I'd love to know your thoughts in the comment section down below. Anyhow, I do hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the next Epic Beauty Fail. Bye!